Good morning. It's a bright, frosty morning in February. It's actually February the 14th, and I'm walking up Etching Hill. So Etching Hill is a prominent piece of sandstone that's sticking up in the landscape. So I'm just approaching on some of the paths. It's been -2 overnight, and the sun is shining for the first time really for probably 3 weeks or so. Been lots of rain. It was raining yesterday, but today is gorgeous, so I'll take it. So I'm just making my way up to the summit. It is a lovely morning, so make our way up the hill. It's only a small hill, but it is very prominent. So when we reach the top, you'll see the sandstone outcrop. There is some cross-bedding and pebbles. Of course, these are desert sandstones, so deposited in a desert environment when the UK was around the equator. And there were a big mountain range in northern France. It's rare to get fossils because of the deposition environment, so there's not many Permian or Triassic fossils in the UK. I think it's a little bit of marine deposits which have some fossils, but if you want fossils in those two periods, you have to go elsewhere. And here we are, approaching the summit. And we'll get some good views of the surrounding countryside. Here we go. So in front of us, that's looking towards Cannock Chase. Moving over, you might just be able to see a tower. That's the communications tower at Pye Green. Move round, you can see Etching Hill community. I'm going to turn around the camera around towards Rugeley, and obviously Rugeley's made up of 5 districts, but the sun's there, so I don't know how much you're going to see, but Rugeley's that way. We turn around, you might be able to see Amazon warehouse back there. You can also see solar farm that's just gone up. Now we've got a bank of trees, but we're looking north. Just about, the Trent's down there. We're going to see the Trent River Valley in a minute, and you'll see the flooding. In fact, you can see it in the middle of the picture, and you can see a wind turbine. You can see the hills in the background. You can see how beautiful it is. So we're coming around on the 360. There we go. I'm just going to show you some of the geology here, but I might have to move around a little bit. You can see a little bit of cross bedding here, but I think there's some more if we go and drop down one layer. Oop. Lovely ice there. Just going to take you around. You can see how this is just a very prominent sandstone outcrop. Come around here and to see some of the geology a little bit more. So obviously there's lots of graffiti on it and lots of carving over time. You can actually see some cross bedding, and that there is probably an unconformity, because you can see that the rock above is very different, or sandstone, and you can also see there's pebbles in it. And then if you go up to there, it's pebbles, but you can see that's almost horizontal, but the layer above is probably at an angle of around about 30 degrees. So that's cross bedding. So that's different layers that are deposited in the rivers. There are probably almost like wadi systems. But you can see this is predominantly sand here. There are other outcrops which I'll show another time, which are actually called pebble beds. So give you a good impression of what's here. There we go. Hello again. So I've come down off Etching Hill. Etching Hill's up there. It's very deceiving from the road because you can't really see that there's a hill there, you just think it's a wood. But this is a regular walk that I do. I'm not far from home, about 1.5 miles. And that oak tree there is beautiful, lovely specimen. We'll have a look at that across a few videos, I think. Obviously it's winter, so it's deciduous, it's got no leaves, but that's a bit of a marker tree. We've got loads of pictures of that through different seasons, and obviously you can walk up the side of the field and get a little bit closer. We're not going to do that today. We're going to carry on down this path because we're going to look at the sandstone again. But obviously I love trees, and in front of us are more oak trees again. Quite beautiful this time of year and when they're in full leaf. Obviously because of the environment they're in, although the first one I've just shown you hasn't been cut too much lower down, but these trees have had branches removed lower down. But obviously as any tree gets older, they do tend to shed branches. Obviously ones that are in landscape, and these are in paddocks. Lots of horses owned here, lots of paddocks in the area, and obviously they do remove branches. But you can see this is a beautiful oak tree, lovely expansive canopy there, and you can see because of the light, obviously you can see how stunning the branches are, and you can see it goes primary, tertiary branches, primary, secondary, tertiary branches all the way, and there's big fat buds on the end. Obviously those will be in growth in a few weeks. There's quite a few oaks here, and there are absolutely tons of oak on Cannock Chase. You see this one behind, it's of equal size, but the canopy is different. It's got two very strong primary branches that branch off from the trunk, and that spreads the canopy out a little bit more. It's a stunning tree. Obviously when they are in leaf, they're home to lots of different organisms, and there will be lots hiding there at the moment, leaf buds in the bark and holes, all sorts of nooks and crannies. But again, we'll talk about that on another video. You can see there's some tits in the branches there looking for insects. I'm just going to show you the landscape. Obviously this is a very large field. You can see it's rolling. Goes over to a promontory in the distance. Lots of oak again, but then there's also birch. I think there's some ash. There's also hazel, and there's some alder because it's very wet down in the little valley there. We're going to go that way because we're going to look at some more sandstone shortly. But it is a beautiful morning. Good morning to get a bit of exercise. And as you can see, some more oaks. The hedge here is full of oak, but it's also hawthorn. Not sure if there's any sloe here, I can't remember, but we'll have a look at that another time when they're in leaf. But it is predominantly hawthorn and oak. Don't think there's any beech mixed in with it. This is a popular route for walkers, and obviously dogs. Hello again. Now progress to the other side of the field. I'm walking through a little wooded area. Lots of little birdies down here. That was a robin, I think. There was a pool, so there's a stream obviously coming off the chase. In fact it's Stafford Brook, I believe. Comes into a pool. There's quite a lot of wetland area. Then there's another pool the other side where they do fishing. A couple of houses. There's also something interesting in the sandstone. So go through the gate. Shut the gate behind us. Pheasant. Lots of pheasant in this area. It's a little bit more boggy here because it's a bit sheltered from the frost. You can see how sunny it is, you see my shadow. So coming through. So it was a lovely walk. This is a lovely walk in spring because there are patches of bluebells. But even in the end of winter, it's still got its beauty. Walking through, I'll show you the marshland here. It's still quite damp here in the depths of summer, you can see. Lots of water. Bit of a wild area, so good for birds, especially mammals and amphibians. Here, lots of birds. They all start to come alive late winter. Been lots of blackbirds, especially at night. It's very peaceful. There's not many people about on a Saturday morning. And make our way. There are some beach, I think, down here. Yeah, here we go. There's a large birch, silver birch in front, but there are some beech in the background. Also some rhododendrons. Don't know whether they were planted by the house here or whether they escaped from Bishop Horse. Bishop Horse, less than a mile from here. I imagine they planted the rhododendrons first and they've escaped. Here we go. Cutting through. You can see there's actually some Scots pine as well. If I move around, see them in the distance. There. Catkins there. Ooh, that was a woodpecker. Ooh, that's not. Probably oh, there we go. Woodpecker again. Don't know whether you heard that. Pheasants again. Oh, woodpecker. You can see it's very boggy. Oh, oh, great tits. Let's make our way through the mud. Not better to hear the squelching. Make our way. You can see there's a bank appeared now to the right. The sandstone's underneath the vegetation soil. So there's lots of trees, lots of branches, obviously sort of come down in storms, but it is essentially left. Leaving the branches is good because they rot down. Obviously there's all the bacteria and fungi first, and food for invertebrates and things. So it's good, but it's returning energy materials back into the soil, keep it fertile. See lots of rhododendrons. Making our way. We're not far from these sandstone. You can see here, great big tree stump. And actually it's quite interesting, this one, because if you look at the actual base there, see the root, you see the root system. So it's not a large taproot, it's roots that spread out. But if you actually look at the surface of the wood, you see it's twisted. Yeah, so you do get twisting when trees grow. It's more pronounced in some. This is quite a twist really if they've grown. It's good to see that because you can't normally see it as much. You can see it sometimes through the bark. Obviously that's the bare wood. You can see it. If we had time we could count the rings. There's a bit of an age to that one. Here is the rest of it been chopped up. Lots of it's rotten at the top. Obviously the base where it's much thicker is still pretty intact inside. See more of the marshy area. We're coming along again. There's some beech seedlings here. Just making our way. The tree trunk, part of one. There are a lot more beech here. You can see them sort of slightly grey silver trunks, obviously much younger. There are some larch as well mixed in there. Again, whether they were planted or whether they're grown from seed that's come off the chase, because there are larch that have been grown on the chase. I don't know. Lots of catkins. It's always good to see late winter. Things starting to wake up. Obviously it's still mid-February, so there's plenty of chance for winter weather. And here we go. This is the sandstone outcrop again. Take a look. You can see some bedding, cross bedding, just at the top layer. Lots of trees growing out the top of it, all roots intertwined within it. And what you'll start to see in a moment is that these have been used for dwellings in the past. Here we go. There's an entrance. Just have a quick look. There we go. Interesting. Around. Obviously this part here would have been all part of it. See, that's probably a fireplace there, a hearth. There's obviously lots of holes in the wall, holes higher up. You can see some brick there, so that looks like there was a roof, diagonal line there. There's a few of these here. Probably another fireplace. What's interesting is you can see from a geological point of view, you can see again there's cross bedding in here. There's layers there, layers coming up here. Not many pebbles, but certainly pebble beds elsewhere. You can see again, so a line of old cave houses, and another one here. What we can see also here are snowdrops, and then you see there's a house, and then there's a lake here which is fished on, but also there are various birds that live on it. some very noisy ones at times, at different times of the year. You can see this, it's quite interesting. It's another oak, you can see a great big burr there. If that was cut through, you'll be able to see that in the grain of the wood. Got big oak tree, it's lost some branches. There we go, nice canopy. There we go. Hello again. Move down now to the Trent. This is the River Trent. So it flows west to east here. So it originates in the north, a bit of, and then comes south, and then it hits basically this area, the sandstone prominence of Conic Chase, and it travels easterly, and then it turns its way and goes north, and it actually goes all the way to the Humber. As you can see, it's in a heavy state of flood. It has flooded over the other side, but I'm by the A51, so it's very busy. As you can see, the water's far above its channel at the moment. I'll spin round in a moment and show you the other side. A51. If you look over there, you can just see there's a bit of a lake. Just moved on a little bit. You can see the river flowing very quickly here. You can hear the geese, they're very noisy Canadian geese. I'm just going to turn around, look across the canal, and then look the other side, and you can see there is Bishton House. So that's been obviously a private residence. It's also been a private girls' school, and now it's owned by the Hanson Auctioneer Group, and it's got some little outlets like cafe, artists, antiques. I think it holds different events. The gardens are lovely around the back as well, so that'll be another show and tell. But I'm going to move up the canal a little bit more now. Need to get exercise in, get some miles done. Keep stopping and looking. As you can see, it's very close here to waterways. Trent's probably twice as high as it normally is. And you see, this is a chestnut, horse chestnut. Its branches don't normally sit in the river. Some beech, a few oak. Lovely sun and blue sky. They're going to come up. Again, some more burrs on this. Old oak. You see the trunk's eaten away. It's lost the top, but it has got new branches. It will survive if you carry on growing like that. New growth adds vigour. It has lost, it's going to lose the centre. Move along. Lots of beech. Lots of geese. They do go on a bit. Again, another good view. See over there into the wildlife centre, the grounds. You can see there's a lot more water there because the river's flooded into there. Move along again. It's so relaxing to be out. It's nice to have some good weather. Despite the geese going on, it is lovely. You can see Trent Mersey stretching out. So there is a loch, I'd say about a mile behind us at Colwich. But there isn't another lock for quite a few miles now. Obviously because the canal's tending to follow the Trent Valley, and that's obviously quite stable and flat. So I can't remember the lock is. I think it's the next lock is at Fradley, just round the corner from Fradley. And then there's various locks at Fradley because it just changed height of the landscape. You see an overflow from the canal. Canal is quite high. It's a safety valve. But of course, you see the river doesn't need much more water. There are some ducks there. You can see how flooded that land is over there. And you can hear lots of geese. That's the view from behind us. It's very nice. This is a nice evening walk in the summer. There we go, we're going this way. You will see in the distance this is very wet because it's a bit of a low-lying area next to the river, and the river comes across this way. But of course that's what this is designed for. This is floodplain. You can see it here. This is what it's designed to do. It's a safety valve, and if the river can come across the land here, it's less likely to do it where there's buildings. It's just beautiful. Come across again. This bit is always muddy, even in the summer. It takes a long time to dry up. And even though it's been cold, it is still very boggy. Quite glad I'm not cycling on this at the moment. There we go. It does get drier now. It's just a bit just prone. It's very nice along here. So, apart from Etching Hill, this bit's the whole walk's quite flat. You can do from the town, you can do probably 5-mile walk, fairly good. It avoids going this side, going up to Etching Hill and going around, avoids any particularly difficult hills. It's a nice one if you do struggle. And it's good at any time of the year, as long as it's not chucking it down. And when it's quiet, it's even better for me. Just making some progress. There's just a few houses. So there's a B road that comes up past Bishton, and then it's not far from us at the moment, but it does pull away. The river pulls away as well. So the canal's left on its own for a bit, and then eventually both come closer together again. And towards the end of this circular, the canal glides over the Trent aqueduct, which is a Telford aqueduct. Here we go. The amount of flooding here. It's a good safety valve for the river. And if you look in the distance, you can see, you might be able to see that there's water on the other side as well. There are sheep over there, but they have got the hills there. You can see the gentle slopes up to the road, up to the A51. So they've got places to move to because the water has gone down a little bit. You can see lots of geese. So coming along the canal, it has been cut back, ready for new growth in the spring. You can see here, Preston Brook is 57 miles away, Shardlow is 35 miles, so it's quite a long canal. Just going to go onto this bridge. So this bridge is for farmers to reach the land. There's only a little track up to it off the B road. It has got quite a lot of corrosion on the bank side, especially on the other side. It will need repairing. We're coming up. See, a lot of water, a bit of ice on top. The sun is gorgeous. Might actually get some vitamin D from it. This tree here with the white bark is a walnut. There's another one we passed, I forgot to say. This is a walnut. Interesting feature there where it's lost branches. You can see where it's sealed over. And that one there looks like ET. That's just my opinion. Here it is. Last one back bridge. Nice example. There are narrow boats behind. They do repair them here. They do sometimes lift them out onto the bank over there when they need repairs and repainting to the hull. There we go. They go underneath this. This one's very low, so I'm going to cycle through. But you can see there how bad the bank is, where it is it's been undermined by the water and it's corroding away. I'm going to come under the bridge. This is one of my favourite oak trees along the stretch. I love it because it's short and all the branches are wiggly out from the trunk. Very nice one. Here we go. Nice silhouette with the sun behind. But it's a good tree any time of the year. Have a look at it. It's got wet feet at the moment. Hopefully not for long. As you can see, look at the buds. Those buds, even there. Nice and fat. Be a few weeks before they start to move a lot more and then burst out into action. Oh, here we go. We've moved along the canal a little bit more. What's nice about this area is it's a nice straight piece. It's open at the moment because there's no growth, but you can see lots of nice shadows of the trees. So those are all hawthorn on the other side. You can see the reflections in the canal. You also see there's a pair of ducks there. If I pan around a little bit more, you can see the field beyond full of sheep. It's lovely in the spring and early summer because they have lots of lambs there usually, and they're running up and down the bank playing. You can see across that field, that is a line of hawthorns. That's an old hawthorn hedge, and obviously the trees have grown. Lots have died, but it's quite attractive. It's more attractive obviously when they're in leaf and in berry. Just turn around, you can see all the hawthorn on the canal bank on the other side. Some have got ivy in them. So you can see this is a straight stretch. We're not far from the edge of town now. This is a lovely stretch again in the summer. The river has just come right next to the canal, just further back, and then if I turn around now you can see it's moving away again from the canal. Less flooding here because the bank is higher, but there are lots of Canadian geese. Yeah, I don't see any greylings or Canadian. You can see there, that's road and distances they usually bypass. Take pressure off the old road that goes to the town. And turn back round to the canal and walk along. There's another humpback bridge, not too far. The hedge on my right needs a good trim. You can see that the hawthorn grew quite a lot. It's probably 1.5 to 2 metres growth. Don't know whether they're going to cut it down soon. Obviously got a few more weeks. As soon as birds are nesting, I won't be able to do it. It does need doing. If it's not, it just loses its thickness, because obviously trees just want to grow up to the light. So if it's not chopped down soon, it will lose its density lower down, and then you'll be able to see through and probably push through. That's probably not very good when you have cattle in this field quite a lot.